Hi everybody and welcome to today's tutorial at 12 p.m. directly from New York City. I am Giselle Behrens and this is Photo TV NYC, where we all learn something new in photography and how to make your photos better. So, if you do want to follow along, you can grab one of your own photos and your cell phone, download this Snapseed app for your cell phone, which is completely free, and I'll be talking a little bit about it. But before, please do remember to subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. This way I will be able to give more tutorials for free and you will be supporting me now that these tutorials are completely for free, making everybody's life happier and easier, especially when it comes to photography, which we all love. Hit that like button and let's start. So, as I mentioned, we are going to be using the Snapseed app, and it is available for download for free on your cell phone. You can download it either on an iPhone or in an Android, and over here on your screen you have the small icon which is a leaf. I want to thank Google for this. This is absolutely not sponsored. This is just me having some really cool tips that I have done in my past years as a photographer with 20 years experience, and this app really helps me just adjust my photos on the go, and the cool part about it is that it's completely free. So if you do want to learn how to adjust your photos and make them lighter if your photo is too dark when you take it and you took that photo on your phone and you see this amazing scenery and all of a sudden your phone is completely dark, with just a few tips that I'm going to give you right now, you will be able to recover that amazing image and make it memorable. So let's start. This is me. I'm going to be right here on your screen and I'm going to have live the cell phone, and you're going to be able to see live all of the adjustments that I will be doing. So first I'm going to go ahead and just tap on this plus button when you do have the Snapseed app already installed. If you don't have it installed yet, just follow along on this tutorial and download the app once it's finished, and then just come back and check it out. You can follow along because this tutorial is going to be recorded after the live session ends. So I'm going to open up my photo, and this photo was me on vacations. I was so happy to be down in Miami, and the day, it was a little bit overcast, but it wasn't as dark as I remember, and it wasn't as dark as you can see on this photo over here. So I really want to make it brighter. I want to see my face. Right now it looks so dark because I was against the light that was there, and I just want to see my photo, see my swimsuit, and remember this awesome and joyful moments that I had over there when we were in Miami Beach. So the first thing I want you to look at when you're in the app are these little thumbnails over here at the bottom. Now these thumbnails are pre-edited filters, which means that you can just tap and scroll through them and they're going to give you different looks to your photo as any filter would. So I just want to go ahead and scroll through them, see if I like any of them. For me, I rarely use filters. Because really filters usually get them really dark or they start making my skin look funky. But if you do want to use a filter, you can go ahead, explore. They have tons of filters. I'm just going to go to current and press my check mark that is right there on your screen to start the process. So the first thing I want you to do is go to Tools, which is right here on your screen on the bottom in the center. You're going to press that button and you're going to go to Tune Image. This is usually what you're going to do for every photo that you adjust in Snapseed. Basically, these are the general adjustments where you can adjust brightness, contrast, warmth, saturation. So in one step, only by selecting this adjustment, you will be able to significantly improve your photo. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the toon image. And when I do click on the toon image, you're going to leave your thumb or your finger pressed on the screen. And when you do that, just drag it up and down, just like I'm doing right now on screen. And this small menu is going to pop up. So this small menu are the adjustments that are available in this tool. So I'm going to start from the top to the bottom because that way I'm organized. And as a photographer, you always want to be as organized as possible to win time. So I'm going to start with brightness. And the way that you're going to add the adjustment is that you're going to drag your finger to the right, and that's going to augment your brightness, or to the left, and that's going to make your image darker. So I'm just going to reset it back, and if you do want to follow what the adjustments that you're doing are, you can just see it on the status bar that I circled in yellow on the screen that says brightness 0. You're going to have a bar on the top which starts filling up with blue as you start adding some adjustments. So I'm going to just add, because it's such a dark image, look at all of the brightness that I'm adding, and I think that around there I'm happy in 75. I have no idea why this photo came out so dark, but hey, it does happen to all of us. So after I'm happy with the brightness, I'm going to pop up my same menu again, just by leaving my thumb pressed and dragging my thumb up and down while pressing on the screen, and I'm going to go to contrast. Now I'm going to adjust the contrast. Take a look at the blue bar, it's filling up. I don't want to go too much on the contrast because or else I'm going to start looking funky. And I want to look as nice as I can. So I'm going to leave my finger pressed when I do have my contrast where I want it. I'm going to go down to saturation. You can always play around with the adjustments if you're not sure how the adjustment is going to look on your photo. So right now, I would like some saturation on the blues. Let's see what happens. I'm just going to drag my finger to the right. Oh boy. Oh boy. Look how I started becoming. Now I do really look from the Willy Wonka factory. I definitely do not like to look over tanned. No! Let's reset that back, just dragging it back to 0. And I'm just going to slowly drag it to the right. And I think around there is good before my skin starts looking too tanned and orange. So I'm going to continue down. Ambience and highlights, I'm just going to skip for now. And shadows as well, because if I take a look at my image, I'm pretty happy with the darks on the image. So I'm just going to skip that. And the warmth is going to make your photo a little bit more yellow or a little bit bluer. So bluer to the left is cooler. Yellow to the right is warmer. So I do feel that this image is pretty blue. So I'm going to see what happens if I adjust it to the right. If I adjust it to the right, the image starts becoming more yellow. That's me just going all the way to the right to see what happens. You can always come back. And I do like the slight adjustment, but I'm going to do a very subtle adjustment with the warmth. I don't want it to go too warm. I just want to neutralize a little bit the blues. So I think that around there is good. Around 6 is good. So now that we are all the way at the bottom of our menu, we're going to press our check mark, which is right here on your screen, on the bottom right, and that is going to apply the adjustments within the toon image that we just did. So you can always take a look at the before and after, and this is something that I absolutely love to do, and I always do because I do want to remember where we started and how the adjustments that we're doing are affecting my image. To do that, you just simply have to leave your thumb pressed on the image, and you're going to be able to toggle back and forth from the before and the after. So as you can see, my before is pretty dark and you can barely see my face. As I started to open up the image, just with these slight adjustments that you can do in less than 30 seconds, my image starts looking much better. But as a good photographer that we all are, I want to take this photo to the next level. And how we're going to do this is that we're going to use a little tool that is called selective. So right now I'm going to go back to our tools, right here on this icon, go back to your tools, and you're going to look for the one that says selective. And it's a little circle with a dot inside. I just circled it in yellow so you guys can follow along. So I'm going to go ahead, tap on that. I'm going to just make sure that my plus sign is active, and you're going to be able to do that by making sure that this icon, that is the plus icon that I am circling on the bottom, is blue. So when it's blue, you are able to add a new selective point. So I'm just going to tap on the point that I want to make brighter, and the area that I do want to make brighter is my face. Because, after all, this is a photo of me on the beach, and I want to share it with my family and friends. But I want it to be more about my face and how happy I am and the play of me within the sea and the beach. So I'm just going to zoom in by pinching. You can pinch and zoom in, and I'm going to tap on my face to make sure that the adjustment is going to be on my face. You're just going to hold your finger like this, and when you leave your finger pressed on the B, you're going to have this little crosshair come up, and you can select exactly the area with that red crosshair where you want to do the adjustment. So I think that on my cheek is perfectly fine. And to make pop up the menu, to make sure that we're on brightness, although it's on B and we do know that we're on brightness, we can also just on one side of the image, and I'm going to actually circle this, you can do it over here. You don't want to do it on top because you're going to pop up your crosshair again. On one side, leave your thumb pressed and just drag it up and then down, and that's going to bring you the menu of the adjustment that you are going to be doing. So as I mentioned, we do want to do brightness right now, so I'm just going to leave it on B and start dragging my finger, my thumb in this case, to the right, and my same status bar appears on the top of my screen, and it starts filling up with blue just to make sure that I am doing the adjustment. So when I'm happy with the adjustment, I'm going to put brightness around 68 plus 68. You can press this icon, which is the eye icon on the bottom, and I just circled it on yellow on your screen so you can see. And that's going to hide the B, so you can see how your adjustments are visible. And if you leave it pressed, you can see it. If you let go, the B just pops up again. So I'm going to zoom out by pinching out. And when you do zoom out and pinch out, your mask is going to come up. This mask is a pink mask, which indicates what area of your photo is being adjusted. Because right now we only want myself to be adjusted. We don't want too much of the beach and of the water to be adjusted. I'm going to just pinch in and make sure that this pink mask is only on top of me. Now I'm just going to go ahead and press my check mark and take a look at how my photo is looking. I think that it's looking pretty good from where we started. I'm going to leave my finger on and press just to see how the before is going on, and now the after. You can see the huge difference, but I do want to go a step further, and I want to make myself pop out of the photo and make it a really dramatic photo by adjusting the sky, because we did adjust the exposure of the complete photo. All of my sky started to be brighter as well, but I do like the texture of the clouds, so I'm going to go back into tools, add another selective button, and just tap this time on my sky. So when I'm on my sky, I'm going to select around there, and I want to do a negative brightness just to darken up the sky a little bit, which is going to give my face and my body some contrast to pop out more of the photo. now that our eye is naturally going to be guided toward where there's more light in the photo. So I'm going to slowly just lower that brightness down, and I think around there is good, -32. I'm going to tap on my plus button to make it blue again, and again this plus button is down on your screen. What that means when it's active and blue is that when I tap again, another point is going to pop up. So I'm just going to make it smaller again, make it darker again, and you do want to make sure that your mask is only on the sky because I do not want it to affect myself. So I'm going to tap on my B. You can make either mask active just by tapping on it, so you can toggle from one to another, and just check out by pinching and zooming out where your mask is hitting, and I think around there I'm happy. So I'm just going to click on my check mark and take a look at the image, and I'm going to do one more trick that is going to blow your minds because everybody thinks that the photo already looks good enough. But if you do want to take it to the next step, which I always love to do, as you can see, you can go back to tools, and this time we're going to press on the vignette tool. When I am doing portraits, I love to use this tool, and you're going to see why. Because with my vignette, what goes on with the vignette is that when we have our vignette on, everything that is around the photo is going to start becoming a little bit darker. So if you drag your finger to the left, you're going to be able to see the effect that the vignette is having on your image. But if you drag it to your right, you're going to be able to zero it. So right now it's without the vignette. I'm just going to make it a little bit darker, and you can start seeing how the center of the image really pops out over here. Now my other secret is that if you do leave your thumb pressed on the vignette tool, you're going to be able to toggle between this small pop-up menu in outer brightness and inner brightness. Now this many people don't know, but and if you do know, good for you, and you can always leave us some tips because then that means that you're a pro user. You can always go down to the inner brightness, and what this is going to do is adjust the brightness inside of the vignette, which right now is the center of the image. So I'm just going to drag my inner vignette, and I'm going to add brightness to have that play in between the darker vignetting on the outside and the lighter vignetting in the inside, which just brightens up the center area of my photo. If you want to see where your vignette is, you can again pinch and zoom in and zoom out, and you can see how that vignette size changes. And you can also I love changing the area of the vignette to where my main subject is, just to make sure that the main subject is what is being adjusted and what's being brightened up, and everything around is going to be darkened out. So to see the effect of the vignette, you can toggle on your before and after button. Just toggle it on and off, and you can start seeing how when we thought that our image was ready, this vignetting effect really makes it stand out and become brighter. Off and on. So I'm going to go ahead, press my check mark. I'm going to leave my thumb pressed, take a look at the before, take a look at the after. Et voila! That's it for your photo. Now you have a photo that is as good as a professionally taken photo with your cell phone, because the cameras on our cell phones are so amazing that we have a camera on the go. Now you have a tool that can help you brighten up your image and make it amazing whenever you want in your pocket. Go ahead and press the export button, and that is going to save it, create a copy of your photo, and that's pretty much it. So if you do have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the description. I am going to be checking them in I'm so happy that you guys could join us for this tutorial. Thank you so much. Please do remember to subscribe if you liked the tutorial. Spread the word, and we will see you today at 3 p.m. for a second live tutorial directly from New York City. I am Giselle Behrens. Bye everybody, wishing you a photographic day.